What's up? What's up? New game in order. We back like the juggernaut, bitch. This is Alex Lexus and Mugen Ketsuki, aka Nelson Del Rio, coming at you with a raw reaction, courtesy of the NewGamingOrder.com podcast show. I want to thank those that participated in our WrestleMania reaction podcast, which we had a lot of interactions with folks in the chat. You know, we love that stuff, you know, so thank you so much. I think that was a rounding success, despite it going a little longer than intended. So tonight, we're going to keep it short, I promise you. You know, I'm not going to be going into heated debates back and forth. But with that, Nelson's going to be, you know, queuing which matches or highlights, and then we're just going to respond, you know, and just rate, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Full Screen, our partner in growth. You know, we really appreciate their support, and, you know, we'll take it away. Go ahead, Nelson.
All right, just let me queue up the matches. If you want to say anything else, go ahead. I'm trying to find the match.
Well, shout out to Gracia. What up, what up? He said, what up, fellas? You know, we see you on the chat. You know, right now we're just going to be doing our little Raw reaction.
I think he was the one that mentioned that if we was able to do this, actually.
Well, hey, you know what? We honored a request. You know, it was kind of in limbo, but, you know, fan interaction is almost instant with requests. So, I mean, if it's doable, it'll happen right away. We have a quick turnaround on this podcast.
Correct. So let's start, before we start getting to the matches, let's talk about what happened in the beginning of Raw when Brock Lesnar came out. And Paul Heyman came out and they demanded for their rematch clause against Seth Rollins tonight.
I would just say Brock Lesnar is the embodiment of Asura. He was pissed off, very angry, and I think with the way that Brock Lesnar lost the title, it was ingenious, but still kind of screwed Roman Reigns in the sense. But think about it like this. He lost the title without having lost his status as the monster or the beast incarnate. You know, there was no other way that the title could have come off Brock clean, you know, based off how he was built up, you know. But with that, Brock Lesnar didn't just go from blue hot, he went to freaking white hot, laser beam, sun, Solaris burning everything fucking up on Raw. You know, he wanted to exercise his rematch clause, and as the story goes, the match was about to happen. Seth Rollins comes out, and I have my issues that I'll explain later with how they're gonna. I already see this happening. This is so predictable with WWE, but Brock Lesnar comes out. They're about to get into a match. And he's like, I can't. You know, I'm jet lag and this and that. And Brock Lesnar went ballistic. Now, I am a very vocal non-fan. I'm not. You know, I don't hate Brock, but he's just not my cup of tea. But for the first time in a long time, I was like, holy shit! He just went stone cold. Like, fuck everybody. Like, JBL got it. Freaking Booker T got it, but Michael Cole, I don't know if this guy knows how to take bumps or not, but he took an F5 flat on his face so hard his designer shoes flew off. You know?
Yeah.
But that segment was really, it was just like Hurricane Brock came through like Sandy and just left carnage in his wake. But, you know, I think that was well done. And being that he got suspended, you know, now the fans are going to be waiting for Brock's return, you know, and when he does come back, it's going to be like a boom, you know. But I think that was ingenious. That was like, that segment alone probably got like some really high ratings, you know, for the company. But Nelson, your thoughts on this?
Before I proceed on with that, shout outs to Cruenes, who also followed our Twitch channel, also a former Raw gameplay buddy. So,
okay, shout out to
Cruenes. All right, now my input. It was a good start of the show. You know, Paul Heyman definitely knows how to sell to the crowd. He definitely knows how to talk on the mic. He definitely knows how to be the hype man. One of the last, if yet the last dying breed of good managers. It's spot on. He started up the controversy, and of course, you know how he has like his little role when he's like, Brock, no, don't do it. You'll just antagonize the Beast if you tell him no. And Brock Lesnar did what he wanted to do, as Paul Heyman has mentioned. And you know, this is like skipping like some of the main matches, but this never happened as like the actual match, so we're talking about this first. And so there's supposed to be a rematch for the heavyweight title between
it's gonna happen. I mean, you know, it would be dumb for them not to allow that. But Gracia, Brock Lesnar said on ESPN, you know, responding to a comment in the chat that you know, he's older now. He has to think about his family and everything. Brock Lesnar, the character, at first I wasn't too happy that he even returned and he was being given preference. But with the way he sold his persona tonight, I'm like, now I want to see what he has left in the tank. But the Brock Lesnar, the person, you know, he has to take care of his well-being. You know what I mean? You know, if you saw how Cain Velasquez kicked his ass, Alistair Overeem whooped his ass. You know what I mean? He can't take beatings like that. And at least in WWE, they can control and protect him and still make him like this great entertainer that he is so elated to, saying that, hey, I want to be a big kick-ass entertainer and, you know, sign with WWE. So that's into response to Gracia.
Right, and just to make this real quickly so we could get on with the other matches, you know, Brock definitely did some crazy carnage that apparently was like crowd appeal. Like they wanted to see Brock Lesnar go ape shit on everybody. I mean, it's on Michael Cole,
the
cameraman, Booker T. Like he antagonized Stephanie in order for him to be like indefinitely suspended, and now to pay a ridiculous
You know, he
fine.
spit in her direction, but the camera cut it out.
I saw it. He did. Yeah. He didn't like right after he FU'd the camera guy. Well, F5, the cameraman. He spat right after, and they kind of like quickly changed it so you won't really see it. But it's definitely going to be a good little promo introduction to something even greater. Hopefully he does come on more shows than his little part-time gig that he apparently signed up for. So that's what that happened. All right, so now let's get into the actual matches. The very first match of the night was the IC Championship match between Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler.
I will have to say, you know, I hope Adrian Neville gets put into that mix soon. You know, I know it's premature to say that, but I'm calling it. He's going to be in that IC title picture like later on in the year. Like this, you know, because what I'm seeing now, Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan had such a classic technical match that, damn, bro, I miss seeing that. That whole Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, chain wrestling, Chris Jericho style. Like, there was something where, you know, the writers are so stuck in their stories, they're not leaving it. You know, they're deemed as WWE superstars, but fuck that. They're wrestlers. Let them be wrestlers. And what that technical clinic that they put out was freaking awesome. I loved it. I think that the crowd... and you know, shout out to Fierce, who's on our Xbox Live friends list. You know, he made a good point. If the crowd is into it, it's going to have a better effect. You know, all the counters and all the, you know, hitting back and forth. Yes. You know, that invoked so much energy, and it ended clean. Daniel Bryan had the victory and shook the hand, sportsmanship, and walked off. And you saw a lot of faces going against one another tonight, which is rather interesting. But that was a high quality, best technical match of the night, hands down. You know, good thumbs up WWE for tonight's booking, because this Raw was damn good. All right, so Nelson, your thoughts?
Basically, same thing as what you mentioned. It was a very high quality match. I mean, you have two uprising superstars besides Daniel Bryan, because you know he's already been known for previous year, but Dolph Ziggler finally got his nice push that he well deserves. Though the fact that he didn't get the Intercontinental Championship. He didn't win against Daniel Bryan. That was a Class A match. It was probably like the best match of the night. They outperformed themselves to no end.
And to think a match like that should have occurred at WrestleMania. It was that good. For those of you who missed it, please go and see Raw for Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. You will not be disappointed. It reminded me of like close to New Japan Pro style wrestling where it was just continuous. It was flowing, you know what I mean? Like some NXT shit, you know? But one other note before I give the floor back to Nelson, the crowd and NXT and the support for NXT, bravo. Excellent. I loved it. Raw was on, had me excited. I'm now going to be watching more closely as NXT folks come in because I want to see Adrian Neville get into that title picture for the IC belt soon. So.
Yes, definitely we need to see more NXT wrestlers because, you know, Adrian Neville is one of the prime key wrestlers from NXT that just got pushed, like, extremely hard. They also pushed the Lucha Dragons from NXT as well.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? When you get to that match, then we'll talk about it.
Well, you can talk about it now because I guess they're just doing like the main key focuses of the matches, so you could talk about that now, actually.
Lucha Dragons. Unbelievable. Sin Cara and this new guy who's a.k.a. the new El Fuerte, a.k.a. the new Rey Mysterio. This guy is going to be on fire. I cannot wait to see how he develops. Now, okay, obviously they should have him with Sin Cara right now, but I want to see what this guy can do as a singles competitor.
Oh, you should have definitely watched the episode of NXT when they went to Columbus, Ohio for the Arnold event, that the weekend that Arnold had. You should have seen him wrestle in singles competition. He did very good.
Now, you know what? And we were talking about this offline. They gotta, stop making this NXT exclusive to WWE Network. The reason why I'm boycotting it, I've been holding a grudge since Afghanistan. I'm not gonna put it out there because some folks are gonna heckle and whatnot. But I'm still mad at WrestleMania 30's stuff, so I'll just leave it at that. But until I get over the butt hurt over that, then I remain on that boycott for the time being. So, but man, Lucha Dragons, I was blown away. I was blown away by how they're allowing some of those creative moves, or those technical moves. Like for instance, those of you who are fans of DOA and Lisa's combination throw, he freaking did that thing to the T, textbook perfect. Oh my! He was 1, 2. I think he did 5 swing arounds before he actually, did the throw. I'm like, unbelievable. That was just excellent. That tag team match was exciting. There was a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on, and I'm pretty sure it was difficult to call that match because there was that much action going on. High caliber, high quality. I thought it was excellent. Your thoughts, Nelson?
Yeah, basically the same thing as what you're mentioning. It comes a long way when you need to see actual real talent be drawn into the actual ring. We're so used and so conditioned to see these wrestlers. They do like their little 2-3 signature moves. They throw their finisher out there, throw a little bit of Irish whipping, jumping here and there, and then that's it. But you need some nice, fresh, raw talent, and NXT is definitely going to show what I've been bitching about all these years. This is true wrestling coming to its finest now.
Yes.
And as I will keep saying, as I showed Alex earlier, I wish I could just cue up that fucking video right now. I might be able to.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No. It's the video that I sent you on your Facebook. I'm probably just gonna cue it up with no volume. But it was definitely a great match. While I do cue this up, I will talk about the next thing. Alex will go into it, and I'll let the thing play in the background. So you get to talk about the U.S. Championship match between John Cena and Dean Ambrose while I look for this.
That was unexpected. And, we have this little joke in New Gaming Order, like behind the scenes, I'm a troll, okay? I think the staff hates me because I'm always pulling up some crazy theme songs. Like when somebody says something silly, I cue up Dean Ambrose theme music with that guitar riff, you know. And it was cool to you know, that Dean Ambrose just answered the call, considering that he got powerbombed through the ladder in the you know, ladder match for the IC belt at WrestleMania. You saw he was kind of, because yeah, we know everything. It's a story, a fleshed out story, but the bumps are real, and it looked like he was. You can see him walking affected by it, you know. When he came out, answered the open challenge by John Cena, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Now, I don't know if it was because of Dean Ambrose's athleticism, but I know we know Cena can be stiff and he doesn't really sell moves well, you know. But with that, they both performed really well. I think that wow, that match I was surprised by. You know, two faces going at it, you know, and I was totally into it. It was very good. You know, there was a lot of counters. You had freaking what's that? The Attitude Adjuster countered into Dirty Deeds and going back and forth. I mean, the quality of wrestling tonight was the in-ring talent, or the in-ring display was really put on the forefront, and it's a refreshing, you know, thing to see that they weren't all on the story. You know, they got in there, they performed. This was a Raw that was above average for me. I give it a B plus, almost an A minus. It was really good. But your thoughts, Nelson?
Yeah, definitely that John Cena match with Dean Ambrose was actually a pretty good turn. I didn't suspect anything of the sort to happen such as that. I mean, I'm still pretty shocked and amazed of how, though John Cena's in-ring ability is not to like 100% to the fans' likings, he still did what he had to do, you know? And I appreciate him being, you know, him and trying his hardest. Alright, what I'm doing now, I'm putting, if you guys don't know who this wrestler is, his name is Finn Balor. He also goes by another name in the international, you know, side of things and stuff like that. But we'll call him Finn Balor for now because this is WWE's product now. So we'll let that, you know, marinate in your heads while we're talking about the match.
Well, the future is bright for WWE because, you know, if NXT is anything of a preview that we're going to get, I mean, having a balance between storytelling and actual in-ring display of technical ability, I think, you know, there'll be like a rebound in terms of, because Triple H admittedly said that the freaking storylines are more of a priority for the product right now. And it's just, you know, to me, I just want a balance of both. So it's what it is. It's what it is. So
it's very true. Very true. All right. So what was the other match that we had in this lineup?
Well, you know what? I wanted to highlight before I forget. Sheamus's return.
Yes. Okay.
What the hell was? Okay, my Street Fighter fans. Sheamus came out looking like Casper, the Friendly Ghost version of Birdie from Street Fighter Alpha. He came with that crazy mohawk. He had beads or barrettes on his beard, you know. And I was, I kind of anticipated him coming back as a heel, because if you think about it, there's a lot of faces, you know what I mean. And Sheamus, I think, was stronger as a heel than he was a face, you know. And I think that for the time being, this is a good thing for him. His new meaner look, you know, even with the crowd chanting, "You look stupid," you know. I mean, man, this crowd is pretty hostile and hype, you know, with some crazy stuff. And I see. Yeah, he did look stupid. he did. You know, shout out to Scoopez. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. But yeah, he did look rather odd. If this was an attempt to make Sheamus look more mean, you know, that is it is what it is. But what are your thoughts on Sheamus's return tonight, Nelson?
Alright, 1 second, I'm about to uncue the video. There we go. Okay. What I thought about Sheamus's return, it was, not much of a shocker because we kind of knew that he was returning back. The hair kind of like threw me the fuck off, though. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually pretty bad. That he came out with that nasty looking hair, and then it was like, "You look stupid, you look stupid." But for him to be a heel again is actually a good thing because we need more rivalries to happen. It's the fallout for WrestleMania. We need to stir shit up again, make fans interested again, and make it nice and fun. But he's a good wrestler, never a doubt. Like as of like the power side of the talent, he's a really strong dude. But let's see.
We did have the following that. We're just hitting highlights. We don't want to dwell too long, but noticeably missing from tonight's program was Bray Wyatt.
Yes, Bray Wyatt was not around.
Yeah, I thought that Roman Reigns wasn't going to show up. You know what I mean? There was just a lot of folks just kind of dwelled in the back or so. But, the women's or the Divas tag match was interesting. Natalia hitting that crazy German suplex. Oh my God! They need to show that kind of technical display in the ring with the Divas. I know AJ, and they just have to, for one phase, at least like a 90-day period, just focus on the in-ring stuff. So WWE.
Whoa! Your video feed went to shit. Okay, guys, hold on 1 second. I think something happened to Alex's video, and he dropped the call. Alright, hold on a second, guys. This is actually not a good thing. 1 second. Come on, Alex. Alright, while that's happening, since he just slipped out of the random, we're going to talk about the Damian Sandow versus Stardust matchup. That was a pretty normal match. Damian Sandow, basically, after what he did at WrestleMania, he eliminated The Miz. He basically said that, he was quitting that whole little bullshit gimmick that he had with him, and he wasn't trying to do it ever again. So, okay, hold on. This is actually getting on my nerves. Hold on, guys. And, they're just basically trying to do that little hype-up match and whatnot for, Damian Sandow since he's getting off and whatnot. He did win his match against Stardust, so it was a pretty typical match. He basically still copied off of The Miz in every way possible. Okay, so for the time being, we're going to just leave it as me for now. And, he did his thing, and, Stardust, of course, failed, and then The Miz came out and was like, "Oh, it's your fault, blah blah blah, this is my show, this is my time, I made you, blah 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 blah." I'm like, damn, dude, like, you're that fucking much of a bitch that you can't just let Sandow get off, Oh, was he? You don't like The Miz? You like Damien by himself? Yeah, I think a lot of the fans like Damian Sandow or, Damian Sandow on his own because he can appeal to the crowd and he's, attraction. Alright, I'm gonna keep trying to get Alex back. Like I said, pardon the interruption. I don't know why he... Hello?
All right. What's going on, guys? I'm not sure what the heck happened. Something probably jacked up on
Yeah, something definitely jacked up. But I was just talking about the Damian Sandow thing versus Stardust. I gave my perspective on it, so you can do yours now.
Damian Sandow, or is so over with the crowd. I'm glad that they're building up to a Miz and Sandow rivalry. So I think it took too long for that pop to happen in terms of Mizdow snapping on Miz, but now this is turning into something now new material. So I wonder how it's gonna be fleshed out because Mizdow is still like attached to the Miz with his name and everything. After this feud is over, I wonder what direction they're gonna go in with him. So with that being said, I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun, but they need to be like a knockdown, drag out fight between those two because the fans want it. Everybody wants to see it. So that remains to be seen.
Right. Says, well, Miz is a good heel, so you have a heel and face it normally don't work. Yeah, that's true. They don't really can't conjunction together in the sense. And he says that he can't see Miz as a face. Yeah, same here.
Miz did have a run as a face. You're like, I'm the Miz. And I'm awesome. Everybody is just back in the day.
That's true, but still, I see Miz just being a heel and only a heel. Because he portrayed that when he was first starting out, when he was doing that whole little tough enough bullshit. I guess the next match we can talk about is Rusev versus Goldust.
It was a filler match.
It was. I mean, it basically showed that Rusev beat the shit out of Goldust.
Yeah. I didn't care for it too much, and where does Rusev go from here? It's just, honestly, what should have happened, Rusev should have had the night off. Roman Reigns should have had the night off. There's some folks, like Bray Wyatt, that was the smart thing for him. They're like, okay, where is the guy? They should show that folks are regrouping, for their stories, so to speak. So it's just...
He said the Miz was a face for only 2 months.
Yeah, I guess that Stone Cold even said it's easier to be a heel for these wrestlers because they have a lot more freedom. When you're a face, you're in this box, But it remains to be seen. But yeah, that Rusev Goldust match didn't really hold my interest too much.
Right. Okay, so now let's talk about the main event, the 6-man tag that occurred between Randy Orton, Ryback, and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, Kane, and The Big Show.
Okay, before we go into that, Scopus, Goldust, despite his age, Sting, Taker, Goldust, a lot of the older ones, if they can still perform in the ring, I don't see sense in retiring. Like Goldust, actually, when he had first came back with Cody and everything, Goldust was looking better in the ring than he was in years past. With the new Final Cut move, which is a variation of the Crossroads that Cody has. He was a lot faster, a lot more sharp, and he's older. Some folks, if you can still perform, Undertaker said it best. If you can still go out there and still look good in the ring, why stop?
That's very true. He also said that Rusev will be a jobber after losing to John Cena.
I doubt that. I doubt it. Even if he's a heel, folks are still cheering on him for him. Not maybe because he was up against Cena, But you don't have such a build-up just to start having them, get bopped off by people. I don't see that happening, but it should be interesting. Now, I did see something about Sheamus versus somebody on the chat.
Sheamus versus Rusev at SummerSlam.
Well, didn't Sheamus get blown up by Rusev before his injury?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, now that Sheamus is back and Brock Lesnar is on the shelf for a couple months, now you could throw a new heel in the mix with everything. So we should see how that pans out.
Yeah, so go into the main event match that has occurred.
Now the main event match. Okay, Randy Orton went to challenge Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had his backup dancers, Big Show and Kane, who now with his character needs to. Man, look how Kane has fallen from grace, man. Like, look at I don't know, but anyway, Seth Rollins, and I'm gonna save that for after, like towards the end. But now he has his backup dancers coming to challenge Randy Orton. Then Ryback comes and says, "Hey, I'll help you out." And it looks like it's gonna be a 2-on-3 match. And Roman Reigns pops up. Again, I'm gonna go into this whole thing. I don't think the fans are fair to Roman Reigns. If you think about it, and this is actually to I know Freeplay mode, aka Demizzle, would probably say yes. Okay, they felt that Roman Reigns was shoved in their face, right? And then they're like, okay, we're not gonna give him the title. They pulled that swerve that WWE is known for, right? He's not in the title picture. He doesn't have the belt, yet you still boo the man. Didn't they give you guys what you wanted? I don't understand. Like, give the guy a break, Now, I think what really helped Roman Reigns is how he performed tonight. Be that silent killer, that silent guy that does all the cool moves and jumping over the top ropes and all that stuff. Return to the roots. Just like Ryback found his way back to grace. I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns can do the same, but the fans have to be fair to him. I don't think Seth Rollins has the title. Well, isn't that what y'all wanted? Like, shit, what the fuck, man? But anyway, the match, interesting. It wasn't as entertaining as the NXT match, or, well, technically the NXT match where you had the New Day, the Ascension, you had the... all these folks in there. The crowd wasn't really into the main event match as much as the other stuff. Even with Adrian Neville's debut match on the main roster against Curtis Axel, it just didn't have that same pop, And that's a match we should talk about, just as, honorable mentions, Nelson. But the main event, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great, but... I shrugged my shoulders on it. Your thoughts?
I mean, it was an okay match. I just found it funny that how a lot of the fans was using that as like a whoop-dee match. And what I mean by a whoop-dee match, you saw the entire crowd participate in a wave.
Yeah. And you know what? I am going to big up New Jersey after WrestleMania
30, I believe.
After WrestleMania 30. Actually, no, it wasn't 30.
Was it 29?
29. WrestleMania 29, because I was in Afghanistan for 30. We went to the Izod Center, and we were getting all rowdy with Fandango, and we were singing the chanting JBL and Jerry Lawler and all that stuff. Now, I have pride in the fact that we were getting really rowdy in there. And tonight's Raw crowd was just as rowdy. Big ups. Keep the tradition going. Every time after WrestleMania, that next Raw has to be on fire. You know what I mean? The crowd energy is going to just make it a lot better, But, hold on, I'm responding. How about Ronda Rousey and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie? I think that would be good for UFC and WWE. What do you think, Nelson?
Yeah, that would be good, but the thing is, like, Ronda Rousey is not a slouch, period. Stephanie McMahon can't do nothing to her, so it wouldn't make any sense. Unless if Stephanie hires another person from UFC to fight in her place and have two UFC fighters and 2 WWE wrestlers go at it. That would be hot.
Oh, like think of it like a WrestleMania, like Hulk Hogan, Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper.
Yes,
like
yes,
a cross-promotional thing.
Yes. That would make much more sense in my opinion, because Stephanie, whether she is now considered a fitness trainer, she's still old. Yeah, she really can't do much, as of like out of sight of wrestling. And she could only do a limited amount of things. And like I said, Ronda Rousey is not a slouch. She's not going to get her ass handed to her by someone who's physically not strong. I mean, for God's sake, she threw fucking Triple H. Like, if he was nothing.
Triple H sold that one.
No, I mean, he rolled out too hard, but she can pick him up easy.
Yeah.
But
her arms are as big as mine. I'm 225 pounds, and I live. You know, so she's that chick is a tank.
Yeah. You sure you don't want to comment on a couple of these guys' questions? Kane is fucked up. I missed the old one. In my view, Roman Reigns is a 5 to 6 move superstar with a decent mic skill. Axel is being misused like half the roster.
Yeah.
Rousey's a tank. Yeah.
Well, you see, here's the thing, and this is a direct retort to Freeplay mode, and when we were kind of going back and forth on yesterday's podcast, where you got some people with a known repertoire. Back in the day, it used to be like one move setup and your signature. Now you got folks with 5 and 6 moves, and like look at Undertaker and how you have the Devil's Triangle or the Hell's Gate, you had the Last Ride and the Tombstone. Over time, folks evolved to have different move sets, right? But then you got Brock Lesnar using one move 16 times. How is that entertaining?
I don't know. Some people like that shit. Some people don't. I don't like it because it's not considered wrestling. It's just what they call it, Suplex City, bitch, whatever.
Yeah, but that's okay. But when Cena does his 5 moves of doom, it's like, oh yeah, everybody started losing their minds. Like, come on. I'm seeing on the chat that Roman Reigns needs a manager. I was saying that a long time ago. I mean, I think that they prematurely broke up the Shield. You know, but it was a sign of things to come. We knew that those 3 had a very bright future, and I think they accelerated everything for Seth Rollins, you know, and having him be the one that, you know, broke the Shield and whatnot. So, but yep, well, here we go, Suplex City.
I guarantee that's gonna be a shirt. I promise you 100% that's gonna be a fucking shirt.
Yeah, eat, sleep, conquer the streak.
Now, let me finish my thing, because like I said, I went off topic. The main event was, like I said, it was okay. I just found it funny that they was cheering actually for the Authority more than they was cheering for the actual good guys. Though, they gave credit where it was due to Ryback. They gave credit where it was due to Randy Orton. Not to Roman Reigns. They booed the shit out of Roman.
They need to stop that whole Daniel Bryan thing with WrestleMania. Oh, no, Royal Rumble leading to WrestleMania. All they had to do is keep Bryan, I guess Kane or Big Show, one of them, and Roman Reigns in there at the end. You know, goodness gracious, it's already over. Let the shit go. He's not your champion. Stop booing the guy like shit. He's just in the ring. Like, the fuck, man? I don't get it. I'm defending Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? It just, they gotta give the guy a break, man. I don't think it's fair.
I think they should bring the tag division.
You know what? In reference to respond to Edgy, with that Triple H, I will give him credit for rejuvenating the tag team division. He said, it's not going to dwindle and deteriorate like that. You know, so he just started throwing folks together and putting more emphasis on the tag team titles and pretty much brought it back from the ashes. So I think the tag team titles should be elevated a bit more. It seems like it's like an afterthought, but it's not where it was in the dumps before. You know, because remember before, you know, I'm glad the Ascension has come up. I'm glad that you have Lucha Dragons. I'm glad you got New Day. And I'm glad you got official tag teams instead of just throwing teams together and having them with the title. You know, bring back things like Legion of Doom type factions, which is like the embodiment of the Ascension. You need those, like, those types of tag teams and really start pushing it, you know what I mean? Because you'll never have teams that can get to that Legion of Doom Road Warrior status without consistency, you know? So hopefully they keep doing the run, and good job to Triple H for ensuring that the tag team division still had some sort of attention and relevance to that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just to you know, reply to Scoops on the chat.
What he says? Well, then there's no cam like the Motor City Guns. Bring back someone like DX. But DX is already, like, used up, guys. I don't think, like, DX can be overused now, especially in this time frame. And I think they have other plans to use DX and the whole NWO thing, because that was actually a pretty good, interesting idea for, like, a little feud. Like, just have NWO feud with DX, but I doubt that's gonna happen.
You know, if that happens, they'll be coming out to the ring with, in wheelchairs and crutches and all that. They're a bit too old. They just had to, you know. I love the nostalgia and everything, but you know we got to move on from that.
Yeah, we need Team 3D, Dudley Boys. I mean, Bubba made his appearance at the Royal Rumble.
Devon is retired. Like
he's done.
That's why he didn't show up at the Royal Rumble. You know, so it was, you know, what it is. But with that, I mean, Adrian Neville, Nelson, his debut match. Your thoughts on that? Because man, that finisher is something to behold, man.
Yeah, the Red Arrow. I mean, Adrian Neville is definitely one of the best talent that NXT had to offer. Though, if not many people knew about Adrian Neville, he was a world-renowned wrestler to begin with, internationally, and he just showed up on NXT to get, like, his video fame to go up higher.
That dude is like a Greek god. Looks like a freaking comic book character.
He's very well and fit. A lot of people compare him to John Morrison when he was physically fit.
No,
while he
I
was
think
fighting.
he's more.
Yeah, but John Morrison at the time was like the most fit wrestler back then.
Yeah, and you know what? Starship Pain, this split leg and moonsault into the twist. Morrison fucked up his career for Marlena, you know, and Val Venus was justified by going in on him on that rant video. And if you guys haven't seen it, I'll actually look for it and put it on our YouTube, so or in the description so you can see it, because Val Venus, he went in on John Morrison with no lube, and he called him like a punk ass Mitch. You know, I mean, you got a lot of those guys like Bobby Lashley, a lot of folks that fucked up their careers for folks. And then Batista ended up screwing her brains out, Marlena, whatever, as the rumors, you know, allude to. But with that, I think we pretty much covered, you know, majority of the highlights. Anything you want to touch on before we wrap up, Nelson?
As of like wrestling wise, I think we kind of covered everything. It's just like, you know, a couple of people saying they should have done that 15 years ago. There was so much talent in the back. Someone remembers John Morrison. I think him and Sammy as a tag team. Yeah, I think Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn should be a tag team, because Sami Zayn is really fucking good too. He came from Canada, really good wrestler.
But you see, with the way Adrian Neville came out tonight, I think he'll be fine as a singles competitor.
If they allow him to keep his NXT moveset.
And he has to be in the ring with those that will allow that to be brought to the surface, you know? So now, if you know, those who in the crowd will respond to it. If it's something where, oh man, he's not doing, you know, that falling star press, or not doing, you know, sort of, you know, crazy DDTs and stuff, the crowd is going to respond to it. And, you know, look at how they did Roman Reigns and Cena and other folks that they try to stick out there, you know. Let them be them. And like Hogan and Rowdy Piper said, you know, a lot of the gimmicks and the promos, let the wrestlers be themselves, you know what I mean? And stop trying to have the writers write everything for them. You know, you lose a lot in that, you know, like you won't have another Macho Man with the crazy promos. And look, Bray Wyatt is a good example. He does everything without a script. He goes in, and that 6-week promo when he was calling out Undertaker, perfect, because it's classic. It comes, you know, you can see, like, it just comes out of the air, and it flows so well, you know. If the guys don't have mic skills, coach them to do it. I mean, hell, The Rock just used to think of stuff and come out there. Hey, he would have little notes, but then he ran with it. You know what I mean? Let them have their creative freedom, and then, you know, work with them to make it a product that you can sell on the corporate side. So we'll see.
That's true. They did fight in Ring of Honor. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. A lot of people came from Ring of Honor that's in the WWE right now. That's watered down, but
yeah. As long as they allow for, proper in-ring entertainment. Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler. I need to see more matches like that, provided that those wrestlers can really steal the show. And I think that was the best match of the night. But Raw, I give it an A minus. The main event, wasn't that bad, but should have had a title defense tonight.
An actual world heavyweight title defense.
And then, Brock Lesnar, man, he put the exclamation point on Raw. That's something that should have happened at the end of the night. Imagine if Raw went off like that, with Brock Lesnar causing mayhem and getting suspended, and then it just goes off.
That would be funny as hell, though.
That would be
funny. All right, so as of PSAs, right now it is 12:18 a.m. Eastern Time. I am probably going to stream some Bloodborne after this, guys. So if you want to watch a game for the PlayStation 4 called Bloodborne and see me die 5,000 times, stay on the damn channel and you'll definitely see that.
Yes. Dolph Ziggler, responding to one of the folks in the chat, yes, he has been misused. I don't know why he should have been pegged as the next Shawn Michaels, but you know what? Petition hard enough, and maybe, just maybe, they'll kind of entertain that. And when Stone Cold asked Triple H, is it true that you just don't really give the fans what they want?
I don't think it's the fact that he can't give them what they want. You got to remember, Triple H is still going through stuff with Vince. Vince sometimes leads up to like the final say. He doesn't give Triple H the final say on Raw or SmackDown, but NXT, he allows him to do whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah. And if you haven't noticed, they had an interview with William Regal. He's the person that's in control of the talent that comes on NXT.
Yeah, I love Regal, man. Back in WCW, the Blue Blood.
Yeah. Oh, so since you never watched NXT, period, right?
No, I get the highlights because I don't have the network.
Okay, so did you know that Rhino's back in NXT?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And
why? But Rhino used to be on main roster. Why is he?
He's starting over since he went to different organizations. And also, Brian Kendrick appeared on NXT to fight. That was a pretty interesting match. Despite he was getting a lot of shit on Raw, in NXT he performed very fucking well. I think you really need to. I'm just saying, if I had the money, I would put aside $10 every fucking month for you so you could just watch NXT. That shit is fucking real.
Yeah. But I'm boycotting it because of the whole streak thing, man. I'm still not happy with Vince and that call. That's the only reason. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. That's my only reason that I didn't get it while I was in Afghanistan, because when I heard what fucking happened, that's why I didn't. Bottom line. But, responding to Scoops, I want to try this interview sometime. Are you wanting to be a guest on this podcast? Just trying to make sure I understand your question on here. And you know what, Nelson? We should do a reminiscing on ECW, because, man, we could go on for days for that.
Yeah, I could definitely go do that.
But in wrapping up, guys, I will extend an offer to at least have 2 people at a time for our wrestling podcast, where, hook up with Nelson on our Facebook page or send me an inbox on YouTube with your Skype information. Make sure you have Skype. We can have you as a guest so we can talk wrestling.
Yeah, he definitely said yeah. So this is what I will do. I will make this a lot easier for you. Follow the channel, and we'll know who you are. Then send us a private message on Twitch. If not Twitch, we have the info panel playing below, which basically links to our YouTube and Facebook. That is the best way of contacting us, period, about anything. So either Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can contact us about that. So if anyone wants to be on the show, more than welcome.
We got another request.
We got a lot of people.
Yeah, FIFA. Yeah, if you know, I'm getting older, and it's hard for me to see the screen, but yeah, we're getting a lot of requests for guests to be on the wrestling.
Yeah, just like I said, guys, just as what Scopes did, just follow the channel so I know like who you are as like a follower, and then just message us on Twitch or YouTube or Twitter. We have all the social media outlets out there. You'll find us one way or fucking another.
And please spread the word, you know, because we've been in podcasting for a couple years, and we're just not getting the same lucky breaks as other companies. So, you know, if you help us out, we're going to do bigger and better things, you know, so we'll try to work it that way.
The Facebook, hold on, guys. The Facebook is within the info panel below. Like, if you guys is on the main page, just scroll down. If you're on the computer, you'll see the clickable links. Everything is there to be clicked on. Everything is there. And if not, well, I will type into the chat. You could just go to this website.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You could just go to the main page. Just go to the main page, newgamingorder.com, which has every goddamn thing you need to know.
Yeah, all our emails and all that good stuff is in there, you know, and then any support we can get, that'd be great.
Yeah, so just go to newgamingorder.com. It will show on the upper right corner, it will show all the social media link tabs. Once you click on them, you're instantly transported right to the whatever you want. So that's the best way on that. All right, so you're on Xbox. All right. So whenever you get the chance, dude, just go to newgamingorder.com on your
gamer tag.
Yeah, or actually, hold on. Let's make shit easier.
Go to newgamingorder.com. You'll get all our information.
Yeah, just do that, and then you'll be good to go, to be honest with you. But if you're on Xbox, that's even better. You can still find us. We're on there as well.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. All right, with that, we're going to draw this podcast to a close. Thank you guys for participating. Yeah, and you know what? Folks are joining as we're getting off. Pick 6-3. Yes, Raw was indeed very good. We gave it an A-. Now, Pick 6-3, if you want to see what you missed, it's going to be set up on the YouTube. You know, like I'll send you the link now. After we go off the air, Nelson is going to actually put it up there. But yeah, Raw was good. Raw was good. But we're gonna draw it to the conclusion. We're hitting that 30-minute mark. But thank you guys.
No, we're hitting way more than 30 minutes. We're hitting almost an hour.
No, I try to keep these things short.
All right, so this is the link, guys. I have it point blank on the fucking screen. So if you don't see it, there's definitely something wrong. But if you guys stick around, I will be streaming immediately after this. So if you want to stick around the chat, ask all your questions. I'll be here to talk to you guys, and I'll get you guys to the right locations. So that will make things easier as well. So you could do your closing, Alex, and we can make this easier.
All right, New Gaming Order fans and our wrestling folks who really have been showing a hell of a lot of support in the last 48 hours. We out like the Juggernaut, bitch, and we'll see you on Thursday when we do our video game main show podcast, where, you know, our bread and butter of this production comes through. So shout out to Slinky Jim, who I saw pop in and out of the chat, and to all our the 9 folks, or 10 folks that are checking us out. We'll see you next time on the New Mugen, or not Mugen.
Wow. Recorrect.
You know what it is? Because I was thinking about your name and then New Gaming Order.
Yeah, New Gaming Order. You're going way too far back.
Oh, yeah. I'm really having a brain warp.
It's all right.
But we'll see you guys on Thursday. Please check us out, and check out Nelson's stream after this podcast.